Gentlemen, we are back. Back in hell. The unmitigating darkness that lies before us. No hope. No prayer. No call to sanctuary will go answered here. There is no hope. But in other news, we're also playing Zelda 2. I mean, pretty much Pillars of Snow. Plus, I needed a game to represent, like, I think it was the PS3? No, PS4, excuse me. Yeah, and I came back like half an hour late, because, I'd like to say it's because I needed a break, and I did, but I didn't actually get a break. So that's not why I came back early. So the littlest niece found the pastries. You know, the ones I referenced from just a couple of days ago. She had pulled them out, eaten out the centers of every single pastry, and smeared the rest all over the floor. And if you've never cleaned up, well, that type of a mess before, that takes a bit. And it takes a minute. Because it's wet is the biggest problem. So that was my lunch break. I was actually going to close my eyes for a bit. Yeah, congealed wet sugar is not fun to clean. I am rather practiced in it because I have worked as a janitor before. You little jackass. Not you. Or anybody in chat for that matter. Yeah, we need to talk to her about that. We also have been talking to her middle niece, her elder sister, about trying to be a little bit better about letting us know when these problems are happening so we can get ahead of them. Wow, that killed me. Okay. I honestly didn't think I was that low in health. Okay, cool. That's cool. I accept. Didn't need that life anyways. Yeah, well, unfortunately, in the reality we live in, all three of the adults in the house all work full-time because that's the world we live in. So nobody's available to be a full-time caretaker for her. So, you know, that's a good point, Noctis, but if you think about it, this is actually the third Zelda game. Now, think about it. We've already had the second quest. Oh. I mean, a little bit, Traxia. Okay, this is bad, actually. Oh, yeah. Trust me. I'm with you on that, Hephaestus. You know, of all the things I've dealt with over the years, and I've dealt with quite a few, strangely enough, the thing I always found the grossest, yeah, we're just gonna reset that, was the hair salon I used to clean for. I don't know why. Sorry, I was concentrating for a second there. Oh, that's bad. Okay. I don't know why exactly. Like, I don't know a good way to explain why that was so terrible. But it was. Hair is just... So hair is really, really irritating to clean en masse. And it likes to jam things. So you can't just vacuum it up, not unless you have a shop vac. And even then, you probably shouldn't use the shop vac for that. So you gotta do it, you know, old-fashioned way. Which takes a minute. And hair... Ugh. Insert sand quote. Really, game? I had no issues with this exact same jump. I'm gonna die before I even reach the boss. This is awful. Okay, whatever. At least the, knights are dead. Yeah, I never had any access to any real gear. I was lucky to have a shop vac, and I had to source that myself. I need to make at least some progress so that when I game over here, in a minute, I can, you know, make some progress the next time I come back here. In fact, at the moment, what I'd probably like to do most is level. I was even thinking about grinding a little bit off camera just to get some of that done. Really? Just to get some of that done off camera, so you don't have to watch it. Speaking of, I will take that. Reduce our magic cost. I believe... Nope. Life is still not cheaper. Damn. I mean, Dark Souls, you know, Dakota. Or yeah, red orbs from Devil May Cry. Oh my god. Okay. But we got the raft. Now there's a strategy that several people use, and honestly I should have been using this entire time. It's the kind of strategy you can only use with knowledge. You go into every dungeon, you get the drop item, but you don't kill the boss. You save the boss until you're at the point, towards the end of the game, where you need 9,000 experience for everything. Or actually more likely like 2 or 3 steps before that. And then you blow all that experience, you know, and then you go beat those dungeons, kill the boss, and turn in all that experience for that. The downside of that method is that involves a lot of grinding, because you have to make all that experience the old-fashioned way elsewise. You know what? I'm just gonna accept it. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. I have no life left. I have no health left. I have no anything left. But we have the raft. And yes, I know there's one-ups, and as already discussed, getting those isn't really going to help. We could... So we can get to the second continent now, because we have the raft. I might pull up the map here, because I don't remember exactly where it is. Looks like we actually can't reach either heart container, so never mind. Second favorite Assassin's Creed? Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry, noble name. For whatever it is that's happening. Revelations. Definitely Revelations. That's actually a pretty easy question for me. So this is Noburu. It's not even in the desert. What does that shoot? With boots, I could walk on the water. Any boots? Wow. So that's a restore place, which we don't actually need, so bye. I am thirsty. And that's your only hint for that quest. By the way, the way you get water is you let this person go by. I think I got the water. I'm not even sure. Yeah, I think I got your water. You have water. Come to my house. Very demanding, isn't she? Yeah, that's the weirdest, dumbest quest in the game, and nothing tells you you actually got the damn water. But this is kind of important if you want to do late game grind. Because this gives us Fireball. Now, fire's medium expensive, so... Well, we do have a refill spot, you know, here. So that's not terrible. By the way, you want to hear something even worse, Dakota? The, all of the bags, the things that give us experience, they're called money bags. So... See a man in Darunia, before the islands. Die, monster. You're persistent. Find heart over ocean. The next game that came out is LTTP, yes, Yura. The next game we're covering is Link's Awakening. Speaking of which, remember to vote if you haven't. So we could get several things of money bags, but we kind of don't want them right now. Unless we do. Let's check something. Oh yeah, those are Zoras in this game, by the way. No, I don't know either. Ah, there they are. Ow. Yeah, no kidding, Frieza. Yeah, the fire spell, to my knowledge, only real purpose is farming Tektites. Now, that being said, it is one of the better farm spots of the game. The fact that it's limited 2 shots at a time on screen, that's not great. It's also pretty much the only way to kill Tektites, by the way. But they drop either 50 or 200 experience per kill. And that 200 experience drop is actually a guaranteed drop. As in every X number you kill, they will drop that 200 experience. Yeah, no, I agree with you completely, Cool Noodles. I like several of the spells in this game. The fire spell is not one of them. Hey, could you refill my health again, please? Yeah, if the fireball spell was really, really cheap, it would probably work a lot better. Well, so the only reason it's good is the aforementioned, Dakota. It unlocks the grind spot. So in other words, it's not good at all. Because unless you figure that out, like just through experimentation, screw you. Really, game? God, these hurt. Actually, I don't think I have enough magic left for another cast. Yeah, I don't. Wow. Okay. Well, what else can we do? Other than the Mega Man's, probably Mario 3. Having said that, I haven't done the nest block yet, so who knows, Vera. Well... See, the next dungeon only gives us the item to access the dungeon after that. The dungeon after that only gives us the item to access the dungeon after that. And the dungeon after that only gives us an item to help us out in order to get the thunder magic. If you're paying attention, that means all of the key items don't really help us from pretty much from this point onwards, other than enabling us to get to the next spot. Now, there's one notable exception to that, but that would involve doing the Labyrinth Palace. Yeah, could you keep refilling my mana, please? Thank you. Old woman's like, what? You want more mana pot? Yes. More mana food, please. But why? More mana food, please. Okay, okay, jeez. So, my mother was just asking me what game I'm streaming. Naturally, I told her I'm streaming Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Her immediate question was, who's Link? He sounds like he's someone important if he's in the title. I have nothing to add to that. Okay, fire just went down. Fairy finally went down. And life finally went down. All very important things. Listen, we can't have a game where Zelda's a girl. Be realistic. You know, since I do have the mana right now. I guess I should answer her. It's the name of the character we're playing as, comma. Typical adventurous knight type, period. I don't know what else to say. Like, most of the links have so little personality. There's not much to say there. As we've talked about before. Who's Link? Nobody. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He's the hero of time, I believe. Oh, I don't know. I've never even thought about it, Mr. Red. I suppose if I ever do a Zelda rewrite, I will, in fact, have to come up with a personality for Link. I do like the kid willing to take care of his sister personality. That's Wind Waker. And the slowly coming into maturity, coming of age story Link. That's Twilight. Yeah, I'm just looking out of that. Ow. Okay, that actually sucks. That was only a 200. I was hoping for more. Okay, we're okay. Oh yeah, silent, stoic defender Link. Who might be one of the least personalitied Links. And that's saying something. So, no, to answer your question, I'm not a big fan of Link from Breath of the Wild. Are you the water lady? Yep, okay. Is he courageous? I think my mother's making fun of me at this point. Do I like Breath of the Wild Zelda? Yeah, actually. Well, is he courageous? That's what we're here to find out! Exclamation mark. After all, we are trying to find the Triforce of Courage. Remember, we don't have it yet. Okay. So believe it or not, we're actually kind of weirdly locked in. There's only 3 places we can access right now that we haven't. We can go back to Palace 3. We could go to Darunia and get, I think, the Reflect Magic. Or we can go to the Labyrinth. There's a bunch of stuff we can do in the Labyrinth, and by a bunch, I mean 3 things we can do in the Labyrinth. So I guess not a very large amount of things we can do in the Labyrinth. We could find the Lost Child, which gets us the Upward Cleave. We can get a further magic up. And we could do Palace 4. That's our options. Bull crap, game. Bull freaking crap. Alright, whatever. I actually disagree with what just happened there. Yeah, exactly, Dakota. That's, yeah. Look, it's not my fault that these games suck, Star Wars. I don't know what you want from me. Are you not gonna jump now? Oh my god, why aren't you jumping? And we're dead. That's okay, though. At least we just leveled. I think this game could have been good. Yeah, absolutely. Now, granted, this is 87. And I don't want to say that as if it's dismissive, but honestly, as we talked about the other day, the 80s were a very experimental era for gaming, and most of the games that came out of this weren't great. There were several good games. There were several innovative games. A lot of innovative games. A lot of franchise starters, but great games? It's a little trickier. You know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's be tactical about this. Let's go east. Always to the east. God dang it. Stop hitting me so hard. Yeah, we need to learn about paper money, Yura. Oh god. Okay. That sucked. I say without hyperbole or hesitation, Pyro, that the current age of gacha is much worse than the arcade age was. The arcade age was not exactly the golden standard of quality game design. But the gacha age is psychologically manipulative and deceptive, and causes large-scale difficulties on a large problem. Like, it would take a lot of thought and effort for me to... Oh god, let me go! To really properly explain just how many domino effect problems have been caused because we have the gacha market right now. It is honestly legitimately disgusting. There's a reason I hold Diablo Immortal, currently, as the worst game ever made. This might be a foolish thing to attempt here. We're going to attempt it anyways. Listen, I will not halt. I know you're on Ganon's side, Frieza. FF14 1.0 is the worst quality game ever made. Ever. Diablo Immortal is the worst game ever made. There is a difference. Or, put another way, FF14 1.0 would actually review worse. But Diablo Immortal is worse. So we'll get that. That should help a little bit. It's another 16 mana there. Yeah, FF14 1.0 is the worst quality game I've ever covered in any substantial manner, which is quite a few games at this point. I don't think it's physically possible for another game to be worse than FF14 1.0. I cannot imagine a game can surpass that. Secret of the Stars? No. Secret of the Stars is a toenail to the statue that is FF14 1.0. I mean that sincerely. You'll notice I've lost all levity and joking in my tone. So I want to really stress, no, really. Whenever someone's like, hey, what's the worst game ever? Like, every time this comes up, I bring up FF14 1.0. And then someone inevitably, just like Savacom just did, says, well, what about this other game? And the answer is, and always will be, no. 1.0 is even worse. Yeah, exactly, Ross. That would probably translate into somewhere about a negative 900 under the current system. Maybe further. So we actually can't do this dungeon properly, but that's okay. I mean, yeah, absolutely, Plutonia. It's... yes, it is under 9,000. Exactly. Ah! Ah! Yeah, no, I'd love to turn FF14 1.0 into a joke. But if I do, then you won't believe me. You'll think I'm exaggerating. You'll think I'm memeing for the audience. No. That game is that unique smell of rotting meat and... like Coke that's been left out to sit in the sun for a bit, so it's lost all its carbonation, and it's just kind of that sort of sickly, almost cough syrupy smelling warm brown liquid, and there's this non-stop buzzing of flies around the scent. It is telling that there are only two positives. I do, first of all. Hoshi no Mito. It is telling that there are only two positives that I could come up with in total for FF14 1.0. If you can guess what those positives are, then you get absolutely nothing. Except for a thumbs up from me. Cat Girls is definitely not one of those things. But yeah, brickwork and music. That's it. Yeah, it is a pretty game. It is. And, that's it. That's kind of all it has going for it. So I'm actually consulting a map because we're kind of here on very specific purpose. So we have a very specific destination in mind. Look at that brickwork, by the way. Check that out. You can tell this is the maze dungeon. I can't do it, Potato. I can't. Unless I kill this. Okay, just being oh god, there it goes. So you should be jumping out at me. Yeah, we got some Secret of the Stars action going on in here. Come on, I do actually need to kill you. What's my lives? Oh, I got full lives. Yeah, come on, come on. Come on, I'm right here. There's Octaft. Ooh. So we want to go right first. Kill this guy. It has delicious, delicious experience points. Oh god. That would be an interesting exercise, Freeze, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Thank you, Potato. Always appreciate you. I mean, I literally have a spreadsheet of bad game design. We could just go down the list. And just be like, alright, so long cutscenes before bosses that are bullcrap and do all the wrong things as far as boss design. Make sure the game is unplayable and buggy at launch. Let's get those launch negatives in there. So we're putting that towards Axiom Verge, the Doom Block, and the Pixel Remasters. And thank you, Joe Wolf. Always appreciate. I'll put that towards absolutely nothing. Unless you want me to, in which case I will. It needs to always be online. I think I need Fairy for this, but not yet. Yeah, okay. We're fine, everything's fine! Yeah. Wow, that's a jumper right there. I've been thinking about it, by the way. I think this game really gets additional negatives for the fact that you lose your experience upon death. I understand the need. I understand the need for a penalty for failure. Really, I do. I've actually argued many times that a good penalty for failure is near mandatory for game design. But in a game like this, where there's a finite amount of experience that isn't grindy or irritating to procure, and pretty much is designed around you, flashing lights warning, designed around you getting to max level, because stuff hits like an absolute truck. Yeah, no, that's not great. It's saying, here, there's a level requirement to progress, and also, while we're at it, we're going to take away your levels. Not a big fan of that. You can put it towards Snufkin. You can also put it towards 3 things total, G-Joe. Yeah, exactly. I agree with Pyro. The fact that you have to go back to the start, that's already our penalty. We don't need an additional penalty. God damn it. I mean, that wouldn't even surprise me, Easy Text. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay, you know what? deal with the Stalfos, first and foremost. And let's deal with Blue Boy. Come on. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here. Come here. Let me stab your face off. Let me stab your face. I want to take your face off. Boots. That's actually what we were here for. We could leave now. I think we're physically incapable of beating the boss. Phone hugs to the cat gatherer. Exclamation mark. Gatherer. Cat gatherer. You're dumb. You know, that's actually true, Chill Penguin. You're absolutely right. If I, you know, it's so weird thing. I know this is actually going to sound absolutely bizarre, because obviously there are better ways to do this. However, it's worth noting that simply the fact that we can't go back into the dungeons once we clear them is kind of anti-grind in a bad way. All of the best grind spots are in dungeons. We lose access to those grind spots when we clear dungeons. Also, major enemies don't respawn, which is actually a good thing unless you want them to respawn for grind purposes. Put it this way, it would actually be a really good thing, overall, if we were able to, you know, grind on a thing, and then die, run all the way back, and then re-kill the big mobs we just killed to get their experience, and slowly gather experience that way. That wouldn't be optimal, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not going to oversell, but it would be better than what we actually have in the game with regards to progression. And I'm not going to get into the fact that nothing in the game really tells you about how the palace thing works. In fact, I'm going to go admit to my embarrassment that I never realized that it was just giving me, like, that I could game the system until I was much older. That is, yeah, I know what you're doing. Dummy anti-fairy. Which spot, if you don't mind sharing, Cool Noodles? This anti-fairy really wants it. Look at that. Just, yeah, no, get out of here. Get out of here, boy. You bore me. Ah. Have I mentioned there are enemies that drain your experience when they hit you? There's actually quite a few of those. You know what? I'd be with that too, Blue Felix. That actually sounds like, oh, you know, like a better idea. Oh, by the way, Ku Klux Klan people. Ah, I actually know the section you're talking about. Cool Doodles. Well, shoot. Okay. Damn it! I was scratching my nose. You can't attack me when I'm scratching my nose. It's against the rules. Oh my god. And we're dead. I did actually have a friend who would wait until, you know, grinding until he got to the end. Yeah, I don't know how they got Smash music for this game. I'm surprised they haven't sued over it. Well, I'm pretty sure Asheron's Call would review extremely badly, because I know it well enough to gauge that. I don't think EverQuest would review particularly well either. And I know Ultima Online would review badly. Oh my god, stop itching. Please stop itching. Ah! Nope, nope. No, Ultima Online was actually a top-down 2D RPG MMO. It had some cool ideas, legitimately. In fact, I was really excited to play it back in the day. But yeah, as I've discovered many, many, many times, down goes further down than we tend to think, you know? Like, we think we've plumbed the depths of bad, and there's always one extra sub-basement below everything else. A game that I hated, but the sequel was the complete opposite, and it was something I really liked. So, I have never played Dead Space 1, but from what I am told, Dead Space 2 would qualify for that, because Dead Space 2 is very much an action-y kind of a thing, and Dead Space 1 is very much not. But like I said, I've never played Dead Space 1, so I don't think that qualifies for your question. I have a lot of experience. Let's not die. Let's not die. Looks like it has a respawn. That's okay, that's okay. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Hey, Berenian. Thank you for the sub. As always. And I suppose you know the question. I still need to put oh my god. G.J. Joe. G. Joe. I can't talk! Snuffkin. There. Barely playing. Yeah, if you ever see a remix lore, that's me. Zandalari Troll. Let's see. Evil Genius 2, Loop Hero, and Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. You got it. Thank you as always, both of you. Does a good game score better when it's shorter and a bad game score worse when it's longer? So, yes, with an asterisk. There's actually an additional factor, which doesn't come up very often because it's so rare. It's an additional factor for retained quality. If the quality and density of a game, whether good or bad, is retained across a certain amount of length, the longer... Well, it's not a certain... I don't know why I said a certain amount. The longer it retains that, the more that affects the score. That's the better way to put that. So, if you have a game that's 2 hours and a game that's 20 hours, and somehow both of them have the same general quality, same density, then the 20-hour game will score better because it retained that density across that duration. Make sense? It was sort of a necessary byproduct because there's just too many really good games that are like 2 hours long. And those games were just crushing everything. And they shouldn't. They were only crushing everything because the density. But I didn't want to unvalue density because for everything else, density was working just fine. So that was our patch fix. I think that was actually Savacom's idea, not mine. Yeah, exactly, Chill Pangolin. Longer game is not necessarily better. But a longer game that retains quality, ooh. And yeah, that's one of the big things that shot StarCraft 2 so high on the list. Maintaining that level of density across a 60-hour game, that's crazy. Hi, Dr. Winter. Can I go ahead and admit, I unironically like the graphics of this game? Not in a, oh, that's so pretty to look at kind of a way. It's actually a very, very different way. And I'm gonna struggle at explaining this, so please bear with me here. The game reminds me of looking at a board game. It's all very tiled and clear and distinct, and I know every... Yeah, exactly, it's the readability. You hit the nail on the head, Yura. I can tell exactly what I'm looking at instantly, without any hesitation, because everything is so distinct from everything else. It's very tile-based, it's very crude, but I know exactly what I'm looking at and exactly what I'm doing at all times. And I do tend to appreciate that in games. Okay, so now the hard part. Now I gotta get back to town without these killing me. I think I can manage that. We're gonna find out. Exactly, Blue Alex, you get it. I'm sure most of you in chat can think of a game that was super long that, for you, retained quality. That it never... Oh, God. That it never got bad. That you never got tired of it. Yeah, 3 Houses. Now, there's a long game. Oh my God, that guy's such a dick. I really don't want to lose 1,400 experience. It's technically all that's on the plate right now. But I really do not want to lose 1,400 experience. Okay, we're clear. We're clear, we did it, we did it. Okay. Let's go heal. Yeah, let's grab a save there. Oh, man. Okay. You have to jump in the towns. It's a rule. G-Joe knows this. Or J-Joe, apparently, is how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Is this an RPG? Yeah. Technicalities aside, so let me explain that a little bit. I try not to get too much into genre definitions arguments, because there's no winning those. And most genres are vague anyways. You know how it works, right? For every definition you come up with, there's 5 things that should fit that don't, and 5 things that don't fit that should, right? That's life. So I try not to get too buried in definition arguments. Having said that, I do actually find it useful to try and contrast genres with each other for the sake of comparing similar game design. So for me, genre is all about game design. It's all about the gameplay axis. The story has nothing to do with anything. Well, type !vote or voot, and you too can get your vote in. Alright, so let's go grab... Let's just finish Darunia. Like, there's no reason to go up there other than this little side quest, so why don't we just knock this side quest out? Get that done. Oh, God dang it. Let's get hit a bunch for no good reason. On an enemy that only gives us, like, 10 freaking things. That's true, there is no plural voting when you can only vote for 2 things. I don't even feel the need to explain that one. Why would you vote for 2 things? Although, actually, woo. There is a concept, which I forget what it's called. It's essentially multiple choice voting, but the concept is a situation in which you allow people to vote, you know, an infinite number of times on choose your own thing, a multiple choice situation. And according to some math, that does get you a bit more accurate of a result. So I could have allowed it. I even thought about it in this particular case. Because if someone votes for both, that means they have interest in both. Doesn't mean I'm going to review both, though. Which is why I ended up not doing that, because I don't want people to confuse and think, oh, well, I want them to play both games. How many dungeons are there? 7? 6 Crystal Dungeons plus Grand Palace. We've already done Death Mountain, so that's the only pseudo-dungeon on the way there. But anyways, yes, I would call this an RPG, personally. It's got levels and experience and quests and side quests. I mean, most games have stats. Mega Man has stats, right? This is a weird drop rate, tell you what. I'll take it, though. It's helping me farm more, and we're almost at our next level. I don't actually disagree with you, Blue Alex. The problem is I don't have time. That's my eternal nemesis. Especially since I'm not even sure when I'm moving, and there's a non-zero chance that I might start the move, and therefore lose my ability to stream before I'm done with the Zelda block. That's a real possibility I'm staring at. Having said that... I don't know, I'll think about it. Okay. Upper magic again. We could keep farming. We probably should keep farming. But let's go finish Darunia. Let's get some progress done. Because we functionally just saved. Every time we get something locked in like that, that is, for all intents and purposes, a save. If we game over right now, we don't lose anything. And I hate these cliffs right here. Like, a lot. Okay, little Octorok. Go away! Oh my god. I remember one of the first times I ever played this, I didn't really realize how valuable the magic menu was, so I didn't really use it. And for some reason, I was just having a really hard time with the game. It's weird. Oh no, not at all, Yura. Like when the major election 2 years ago, I legitimately had trouble even finding a place to vote at. Just straight up finding it. Then again, the state I lived in 2 years ago. Well, I don't want to get polemic, but they're kind of anti-voting, if you know what I mean. Stop by for a while. Sure. And she killed me. Now that's a good question. So I asked that question of chat. Do you think Castlevania 2 will score better than Castlevania 1? Now, see, the thing is, Castlevania 2 is not a good game. But Castlevania 1? Castlevania 1 is one of many, many games that starts off really strong, but by the time you get to the later levels, it's just spitting in your face. You were a hero for saving my child, come. This magic will strengthen a shield. Yeah, not very helpful information, but reflect is literally mandatory for the dungeon we were just in. I'm not sure what the first Castlevania game might be it was. I'd have to think about that. There was a powerful knight in this town. Where could they be? Aw. That is still something I will give a negative to, Lolam Loss. But you're right. In the modern era, that's as good as it gets, isn't it? Sort of sad, but there it is. There it is. Yeah, no kidding, Dakota. They're also talking about full campaign co-op, which is something they've said several times, but we'll see how that goes. When you jump, press up. And that's most of our kit, right there. We pretty much have our entire kit at the moment. The upward stab, which looks hilarious, by the way. Woo, woo! And the downward stab. And a few spells. In fact, I think the only spell we're missing is Thunder, I believe. Nope, we're missing Spell. Sorry. Yes, that's right. There's a spell in this game called Spell. You know, I'm not sure, Drakaji. That's a good question. Congratulations, Yura. You have found me in the midst of my shame. You know, that wouldn't surprise me, Sean. And to continue to tie this into Castlevania, at least the hints in this game, while badly translated, give you some idea of what you're dealing with. The hints in Castlevania 2, for those of you not aware, are actively, deliberately misleading. Like, for a long time, a lot of people, myself included, presumed it was a localization issue because those are so common. No, even in Japanese, the townsfolk are dicks. Just straight up dicks. Yeah, troll devs. Straight up. It was actually pretty common for devs to troll players back in the day. I'm not really 100% sure why. Like the aforementioned Second Quest, or even, honestly, Zelda 1 Vanilla still had those problems. We're just gonna nope out of here. We're just gonna... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, okay. We're gonna run for our lives. Yeah, actually, yeah, FF2. Which actually came out after this, but still, same general era. I'm not gonna ask why you don't have AC era, because that's probably TMI, but... Or too prying, rather. But either way, I am sorry that you don't get to live with the joy of air conditioning. Air conditioning, I've heard it argued, and I kind of agree with this, is one of the best human inventions for survivability, for getting us past that survivability phase as a species. Air conditioning opened up so many areas for habitability. The other big one, by the way, is, of course, refrigeration. Oh, man, cool noodles. And everyone thinks, oh, yeah, open up a pellet. That's not hard work. No. No, you've never done it if you think that. Holy crap. Gotcha. Well, either way, I am sorry. If it makes you feel better, we're moving north, and there's a near certain chance that whatever place we move into will not have air conditioning. Now, the good news is I've got an AC unit. The bad news is that AC unit requires an outdoor connection, aka a window or something similar. So that may suck. Sorry, I'm thinking. What is... Okay. We do actually have central air here, though, but it's, I mean, it's a house central air, right? What are you gonna do? We'll see, Sarvacom. I admit in my more private moments, I am more than a little scared. I don't really have any particular reason to be, but uncertainty is not something I deal with super well. Probably because I've not been sure where I'm going to live the next month at several points in my life. So, you know, not a fun sensation. I don't like the uncertainty. That's really all it boils down to. I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to get kicked out. I'm not going to go homeless. That ship has sailed. Have a job. Thank you for the fact that I have a job. You know, this will be fine. This will be fine. It's just... Deets would be nice. Yeah, last year... Oh, my God. I couldn't even work. And I know that sounds so pathetic, but, like, I spent entire days not doing anything. Me. Because I was so stressed I couldn't concentrate on anything. Assholes. We're grinding, by the way. This is a great time for questions, comments, hatreds. It's a good ending, Javez. Even more so given when it came out, because that was our 4th Zelda. Still pretty early on in the series, relatively speaking. I feel you on that, Blow Off Alex. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm the only one like this. But you get that thing where everything's, like, normal, right? There's no big thing. It's not like there's this big doomy music and things aren't, like, dramatic or whatever. But you look around and you don't feel like you're where you are. Right? It's just kind of disjointed. You know? That was the wrong spell. I may pay for that. Favorite apartment situation in my adult life? Oh, jeez. Well, obviously this is an apartment. Unless you're counting this, in which case, ignore me! Oh god, oh god, oh god. No, 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 I don't want to die. Yeah, I really don't want to die, actually. I do have an upward jab, but they're immune to everything but the fireballs, Brigwin. I'm sorry, please remind me, Blow Up Alex. Also, really quick, what setting would I most want to be featured in a Total War game? Ironically, Star Wars. My first pick. No. Now, granted, I'm not actually a big fan of Total War games, but that's still my answer. Shoot. Ah! No! I'm gonna dead. That's it. I'm over. Right. Sequel. Sequel I liked to a game I hated. See, the problem is, hated is kind of hard for me. There's not a lot of games I actually hate, you know what I mean? So pulling out a game I hate is kind of difficult to do. Because, like, for example, you know, Mega Man 2, much better game than Mega Man 1, but I didn't hate Mega Man 1, right? Devil May Cry 3 was certainly a big boost from Devil May Cry 2, that's for certain. I'm thinking, Blue Felix. I'm not... I know I'm just sitting here, but I am thinking, I swear. My current objective is get another 900 experience. Or, sorry, no. No, 1,200 experience. You know, that's fair, if I count FF14, because I played 1.0 as a reminder. And yeah, that was just a whole different ballgame. Yeah. Metroid 1... Metroid 1 to Super Metroid, which I know is skipping one, but still, that was a hell of a jump. You know what? Actually, I think I do have an answer for you. And I'm going to get some flack for this, but it's still true. Final Fantasy IV. I wasn't a big fan of Final Fantasy 1 back in the day. I did play it when it came out, and I kind of never went back to it because it just was unmemorable and sort of bad. It was a NES RPG and all that that implied. So I never really went back to it, except for like a couple times to remind myself of, hey, you know, do I hate this game? And yeah, no, the answer was yes. I was not a big fan of it. I anticipate when we review the NES version of FF1, it will not review particularly well. Okay, that's an interesting situation to be in. I'm gonna reserve the right to save state. And then I'm gonna... Arm. Okay, this is bad. This is extremely bad. I can make this work. But yeah, then FF4, obviously, even when I first played FF4, I loved FF4. And obviously, I still like FF4 to this very day, so duh, essentially. I could probably think of other examples in more modern times. Psychonauts 1 to Psychonauts 2 is a great example. StarCraft 1 to StarCraft 2, Warcraft 1 to Warcraft 2. But I think that answers the spirit of the question a little bit better. Because I never expected to like the Final Fantasy series, or frankly, RPGs in general. And then I played FF4. Please, 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 please! God! Damn it! Ah. Yeah, Witcher 2 to Witcher 3, that's another good example. If you're wondering why I don't just go back to town, I'm not sure I can reach town and live right now. I'm pretty sure I can't, actually. I get that comment all the time. Are you kidding me? The sacred cows concept is a very, very common concept. Not 100% into it, but it is a common thing. You suck. You stupid fairies. Yes, Star Trek Resurgence is funded now, Ross. It's the only thing I got a chance to do during the lunch break. Yeah, hopefully retro gaming will never find my channel. What's really funny is I get accused of the opposite the exact amount of times. Like, seriously. The amount of times someone will yell at me because I'm too harsh in old games versus how many times say I only like older games, it's 50-50. I might just make a run for it. Because I am just not getting a fairy to happen here. I think I just died. Just type an exclamation mark. Cool noodles. I had that. I had that. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna die. Because I am so low on health that any damage will kill me right now. Oh my god, okay, okay. No, and I have no plans to play Homeworld 3 anytime soon, Loner. Partially because of the noise, but if I'm being honest, I didn't expect Homeworld 3 to be good walking into it, you know? None of the behind the scenes was painting the picture of a game that was going to be good. Now, don't mistake me, that's not always indicative. Sometimes there are games that are like, oh man, everything's a mess, and they've changed development 13 times, and the manager had to be kicked out of the project because he was filming porn in his house with company equipment. That's a real example, by the way. Credit if you remember which one that is. Wow, that's just, yeah. I mean, I would love a proper remake of Zelda 2, no question. Get some quality of life features in here. Change up some of the more bullcrappy elements of the late game. They're not even at yet, by the way. We haven't actually seen the bad stuff yet. I know that sounds shocking, because I'm terrible, but trust me. We can go down from here very far. That is... So, hang on. Before I answer Blue Wolf Alex, do any of you know which game they had to kick out the head of the studio because he was filming porn with company equipment in his house? So close to a level. Noctis is correct. Metroid Prime 1. Yeah, I actually was refreshing myself on the history of Metroid Prime when I was doing the Metroid block in case it came up, which it didn't, but I still have all those notes, and obviously it's fresh in my mind. Porn of women, obviously. Obviously. There's an extra amusing factor there. So he was so inexperienced with handling equipment, that's not a sex joke, that you know how you'd use just a standard camcorder, and that actually has like a timestamp for whatever the date and time is set for the camcorder? So that was on, which is a very amateur mistake, by the way. Speaking of someone who has worked in television productions, that's one of the first things you learn to turn off when you're recording. But he had it on. What that meant was they had time and date stamps for when the scenes were happening, which is one of the ways they were able to definitively prove that he was doing it on company dime during company hours, during business hours, when he was supposed to be in the office working. Hi, Jay Palmer. Yeah, no, Retro Studios, the history of their creation is actually kind of wild. And boils down to one kinda terrible asshole. I say terrible asshole. We have so much of a gradient of assholes nowadays. One misogynistic asshole, let's go with that. Pretty much deciding to just, you know, like, hey, I just want to make a company and do games, with no idea what that meant or how to do it. And then he did. And he founded Retro Studios. Now here's the really wild part. This is conjecture on my part. But when he was hiring people, he was hiring anybody he could get a hold of. Friends, family, people off the street. But a lot of the requirements he had for hiring was actually really, really simple. Do you want to make games? And lo and behold, pretty much everybody he hired had no experience or knowledge or college degree or anything like that. They just really wanted to make games. Now there's probably some solid luck involved with this, but there's a reason Retro Studios was able to do some really, really good stuff. And it's because it was a bunch of people who wanted to make games. At least, that's my conjecture. Sorry, Yura, you asked that twice. I apologize. No. What's going on with it? Yeah, by the way, I should mention everything I just talked about happened before it even became a Metroid game. It was called Action Adventure. It's the name of the game. It's also interesting, too. I give Miyamoto a lot of crap, and I will continue to do so. But I will also, at the exact same time, give him tons of respect. The man knows game design. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with Metroid Prime? Guess who was the actual creative director in every way of Metroid Prime 1? After the disaster I just mentioned and the ousting of... I'm not even going to name him because his name is not that important. One of the first things they did was Miyamoto came out personally to try and steer things right and fix everything. And he really liked the gameplay concepts of action-adventure, because of course he did. He's Miyamoto, that's his bag, right? So he was like, we can make something of this. Let's make a Metroid game out of it. And he was right there in the office for a decent chunk of the development of Metroid Prime 1. And even when he went back to Japan, he was still the mainliner for the Metroid Prime 1 project. Like, in near constant communication with the devs, and guiding them and giving them ideas and all kinds of fun stuff like that. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that we should give Miyamoto a lot of credit for the fact that Metroid Prime 1 is Metroid Prime 1. I have one life, don't I? Yeah, I do. Okay. Oh God, I can't go past this thing. It's too powerful. The pain. The pain of it all. It's too much to... This is taking too long. Well, not always, Sean, but in this case it worked out. I need something that can kill me. Please. Please. Please kill me. I'm begging you. Kill me. Shoot me. Shoot me. Oh, there we go. Okay, lives refilled. Jay Palmer asked me a question. What's my favorite first game? I had to refill my lives, Jay Palmer. Or did you mean in real life? So, favorite first game. I have heard of it, yes, Talia said. Never actually looked into it myself. Yeah, I was about to say, like, honestly, the answer is Breath of the Wild. For all of my issues with it, which I absolutely do have, I stand by that 80. I think that is it. I think that's our best first game at the moment. I know what you're thinking. No, I don't mean with Ryu, but as I've talked about recently, if you see that score, that's pretty close to my opinion. There are only a couple of exceptions to that. So yeah. Breath of the Wild. Now, will anything surpass that? That's a good question. I don't know. Yes. Yes, Breath of the Wild is the durability one. I'm sorry, I find it vaguely amusing that that is kind of its legacy, is to be the durability one. It's even better than that, Talia. In the next level, there's actually not enough keys to navigate the level normally, so you kind of have to start using a fairy. Hope you've been leveling your magic. Okay. Let's do this. Hello, Shimigamix. Hope you're doing well today. What's your top 3 right now, Blue Up Alex? Would Stardew Valley count as a first game? Probably. It doesn't feel like one, even though it technically is one. See you around, Jijo, or Jjo. Do you prefer Jjo? I guess it doesn't matter. Turns Link into a chicken. I have beaten this game before, without cheats even. Twice. Shows Cold Steel 3, FF9, FF6. Wow. It's a solid list. Is there a way to answer without spoiling why Trails of Cold Steel 4 is not up there? No, Undertale wasn't actually, ironically, his first game, not even in that style. The Earthbound Halloween hack predated it and was designed very similarly in a lot of respects. I did, Ross. You're absolutely right. That's one of the 2 times. The other time I had a guide. Like, I just had a map ready to go. That helped a lot, as it often does in older games. Speaking of, I'm just going to pull up a map here, because I've sort of spaced where I'm at in this dungeon. That's on me, and I'm stupid. But I've already gotten everything here other than the boss, so I just need to find the boss. Where am I? So I need to go there. Means I need to go there. Yes. Yep, the boss is in the boardroom. And we gotta stab him until he dies. You know, truthfully told, Sean, I don't know much about how well the current leadership at Nintendo has been leading. I know a decent amount about their history, like, as developers. But leadership skills and styles? I don't know much. Oh, I know, Nighthawk. It's kind of crazy to think about. You ever want to feel old? I played this game when it came out, and Breath of the Wild when it came out. I screwed it up. Whatever. We're still full. That's the important part. Nope. This was released on the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. I actually think I know what you're talking about. But yeah, I feel you on that. I actually don't know what it's known outside of Japan. But yeah, the NES, or the NES. Yeah, this game was so big, it quite literally came on 2 discs. On the original Famicom version. In fact, you know how the Grand Palace actually has proper mid-mission checkpoints? For the one and only time in the entire game? Well, the reason why is because of the fact that it was a completely separate disc. So they had to actually have a separate pause point for that. So. We almost beat this boss last time. That's what makes me sad. If I had had one more life, which I thought I did, but I didn't because I misread the damn thing. A lot of these palaces are pretty solid for the most part. They're not great. Like, I don't want to overpraise. But there's a nice flow to them, right? And they usually minimize backtracking, and usually, pretty much always actually, you go a certain direction, there's something worth getting there. Boom. We need to start raising, like, everything. I've already missed the chance to optimize my gear, or my levels, so we're not even going to bother from this point onwards. We're just going to level. So now that we have the Reflect spell, we can go finish the next dungeon. Then I need to consult the map again, because I'm missing something. I'm not sure where it is off the top of my head. By the way, I swear this right here is the best reason for the downstep. I mean, yeah, it's nice for combat, but it's great for traversal. Hey, there's an enemy in my way. Bonk. Excuse me. Well, you see, Talia. Sandstorms? I don't know. Safety save. I believe, other than getting our extra 1-ups, we're done with the first continent. Let me double check that. So, there's a 1-up there. I think there's a second one. Oh yeah, there it is. And yeah, that's it. We have everything else. What game surprised me most was its score? Ooh. I could cheat and say Zelda 1, because honestly it scored better than I thought it would, and I know that's a weird statement, but -30 for non-second quest is much better than I was expecting, so I'll take the egg on my face for that. But no, I got better examples than that. Yeah, XCOM 2, a game that I thought was going to knock it out of the park. A game I was fully expecting to just crush it. Wait, I have the boots. I'm so stupid. By the way, this is the only use of the boots right here. It has no other purpose. And there's a path here. You can't actually walk everywhere. I'm trying to remember where this... There it is. Knew it was there. They actually tell you this hint if you're paying attention. I'll take that. I believe... that might be... that's our second to last heart. We've already had our second to last magic, so we're almost geared up. As geared up as we're getting. Not counting levels. So XCOM 2 scored surprisingly low. I will admit Total Warhammer 3 scored surprisingly high. Which is weird, but, like... I really didn't like that game. But it still scored, what, like 200 something? It's a really, really good game. Go figure. So, the difference between a heart and a life level. A life level is better described as armor. Reduces the damage you take directly. Heart increases your health. Both functionally do the same thing, but you can see why there's a distinction. Starfield did surprise me. Absolutely. Other than the obvious memes and whatnot. The fact of the matter is, Starfield was a game that I was not expecting to score particularly high, but I wasn't expecting it to score that low. I certainly wasn't expecting it to be my second lowest scoring game to date. Mass Effect 3 didn't surprise me at all. I was pretty much expecting ME3's score when we walked into it. Boing, 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 boing. Uh-oh. You got loose! Shoot! Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this room can be a little mean if you're not ready for it. Which I admittedly wasn't. What else? Mario Wonder I was expecting to score well. I will admit I wasn't expecting it to score that well, but I walked in thinking, yeah, this is going to be a good game. And it was, so... not a huge surprise there. You know what? I'll put Cyber Shadow on that list. Cyber Shadow is probably one of my favorite Ninja Gaiden games of all time, if not the favorite. And that game came out of absolutely nowhere. I wasn't expecting anything from that. Actually, while we're on this subject, I suppose I should add Subnautica to the list. If you remember, when I first played Subnautica, I'm just gonna move on. I didn't even know the genre of the game. I didn't know what I was getting into at all. Blade Tale, that was another big one. We played Plague Tale right before we played Shattered Universe. Think about that for a second. Yeah, I was expecting to like Spiritfarer too. That one surprised me. Gonna glance at a map here really quick. Don't mind me. Hat in Time. That's another one that surprised me. Hat in Time, I will admit, I got a little contrarian on when it was first introduced to me, because the first thing people said was, this game, yeah, there's nothing here, this is just a dead end. This game, everyone said it was better than Mario Odyssey. And Mario Odyssey was joy in a box for me, so I was just like, yeah, okay, sure. But A Hat in Time was really, really good. I highly recommend it if you have any interest in 3D platformers. I didn't even know what Once Upon a Gesture was when we walked into it. So yeah, that was another one. I don't know if that counts as a surprise, though. That's more like, what is this nonsense? I was surprised Hollow Knight scored as high as it did. Which I suppose is not something people want to hear, but it's still true. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Wow! Hi, Saber for Wife. It should be tall enough. Yeah, make sure you voot if you haven't. Voot. I haven't even looked at the results yet. By the way, those guys are programmed, in some cases, to actually keep up with your horizontal movement speed, which is hilarious if you're using the glitch that enables you to move across the screen at Mach 12, as they're just backing up at Mach 12. It looks really funny. That's what we got that key for. I mean, if it's that good, it's that good. I have heard nothing but good things about it, so... Not... ooh, okay, hang on a sec. Not what I would call super surprising. But I do kind of feel you. In fact, in the spirit of that, if I could answer another game that had surprised me and how well it scored. Super Metroid. Don't mistake me, I always knew Super Metroid was going to score well. But I will be honest, I was surprised at how well it scored. Other M, I wasn't expecting to score as badly as it did, I'll be honest. We have a key, let's use it. Not really. Poor Blizzard games we're always going to crush the scale. After all, there's only 3 of them. And we've already reviewed 2. This is the boss. I don't want the boss. Where am I? Hold up, hold up. You can always tell there's a boss, because there's curtains. Because it's curtains for you? I don't think that's the intent. But anyways. Okay. I can see why I missed the way forwards. Wow. Alright, okay. Well, let's... Honestly, Blue Felix, so am I. It's one of those situations where... I don't know. It's a train wreck in motion, right? Like, it's just... My God. Each cutscene in that game just managed to find new ways to suck. And it never got any better. And it was just... I don't know, it's kind of depressing, honestly. I mean, some people argue Breath of the Wild is an RPG, although I don't agree with that personally. Okay, yep. I don't need it. Ooh, okay. Okay. Hi. Have I played Gothic 1 and 2? No. So, I am an ignorant American, aka someone who didn't even hear about the Gothic series until, like, a few years ago. Like, 10 years ago, but still. So, I never actually got a chance to play it. And I never will, Croatia. Damn, that bad, Blue Felix? Like, I've heard bad things about it, so that makes sense. Let's just ignore him, shall we? Let's just nope out of that situation. But yeah, if you name a popular European game, there's actually a pretty good chance I never played it, because a lot of those games just didn't enter into my sphere for a really long time. Not on purpose, just by nature of culture or availability or whatever. Okay, so now I want to go left. So our first dead end is here. Oh yeah, I cannot wait for FF13 to be reviewed and then be FF13. I have played Wizardry. I have played all of the classics of RPGs. I've played Ultima, or Alakabeth if you prefer. I've played Wizardry, and I've played Might and Magic. So would I rather play Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, or Diablo 1, 2, and 3? Ooh, that's a tough one. I assume no cheats are allowed in any cases. That's really sad, Alex. Wow. Oh, okay, so Warcraft 1 or Diablo 1. So I haven't reviewed Warcraft 1 yet. It's on the awful block. Plug. I kind of... can I get up there without... jump? I'm sure I can. I have no magic, so I can't reach him anyways. That actually sucks. For 2... Damn, that's also a tough one. For 2, I think I'd probably go with Diablo 2. I know that game very, very well, and I know how to break it. And Warcraft 2 is just about as frustrating to play, but less breakable. Or at least, I should say, I don't know of any ways to break it. Better way to phrase that. As for the 3s, that's kind of tough. D3 is one of the top-rated games I've ever covered, And Warcraft 3 is probably going to be pretty high up there if I ever get a version I can actually cover properly. What's my health? Oh, only have the one. Anyways, I wouldn't have figured this out. There's a walk-through walls portion of this. And this is mandatory, by the way. You do have to go through here to progress. That's not good. Okay, well, let's see if we can at least make some progress before we die. Fallout New Vegas is a part of the BRPG block, specifically. So we'll be covering Morrowind, Skyrim, Fallout 3, and Fallout New Vegas. Pretty much back to back. So Raspberry Jam, hang on one second. Raspberry Jam refers to the way in which a game conveys to you that you are low on health. No, not Fallout 4. Nobody has any interest in Fallout 4, including me. Really? Okay, other than Jay Palmer, no one is interested in Fallout 4. So yes, if you're playing a game and you're low on health and you hear that's Raspberry Jam. If the game smears your entire screen in Raspberry Jam, that's Raspberry Jam. Wish I could say I came up with the term, but I actually didn't. It's a reference to Spaceballs, which itself was being referenced by a game reviewer a while ago when specifically referring to the Call of Duty series, which is really bad about smearing jam all over the screen. Ooh, that was a little close. Oh, okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let's just not tempt fate here. Oh, sure. Give me a relaxing fight, and then might make fight a blue jackass. Get the thing, get the thing! But we did it. We caught the flute. Progress made. Although we did just lose like 2,000 experience. So, there's two ways I've noticed that modern games like to use Raspberry Jam properly. First, and most importantly, is they like to add some kind of musical variance. So, you know, hey, you're low on health. And I just hit the wrong button. And the music changes. Pokemon has played with this. Another thing is you could have the death sounds fade in and out. Mario Odyssey played with the same concept. So, something like that. Oh... neck. Yeah, some games do the, oh, I'm injured animation. There we go. 3, 4? We have 3 left, so I guess we've completed 3. I mean, I don't know if I would say positive, but yeah, I was leaning that direction. I didn't realize I could farm these over here, so that's going to make farming a lot easier. And farm we must, so farm we shall. Another great time for questions. Ow, 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 ow. Do you have any interest in checking out the Witcher 3 mod kit? To playing mods, not making mods. No. Although, that's perhaps a lie. Any question for, are you interested in such and such, always has to be predicated by the statement, do I have infinite time? If I do not have infinite time, then the answer will always be no, because I don't have time. I have such an absence of time in my life. But if I somehow magically had like a temporary portal of anti-time I could enter and just spend forever in there without actually advancing time forward, then yeah, sure. There's actually a lot more things that I'd love to do under that circumstance. And playing a modded Witcher 3 is actually one of those. Lord knows I have already played a modded Witcher 3. Do I think Zelda should try again and make a Zelda 3? But they have a Zelda 3, it's called LTTP. No, Star Trek doesn't have infinite time. Star Trek has a holodeck, which is useful. And, replicators, which are, useful. Neither of those fix the time issue. That's true, Jay Palmer. But that's terrible. So, I wouldn't mind if they took a stab at an honest-to-goodness Zelda RPG. An actual full attempt at making an RPG, not a side-scrolling action game that had RPG mechanics fixed onto it, which is what this is. If we're being honest with ourselves, as much as I say this is an RPG, I'm also kind of lying, because what this is this is a platformer with RPG elements. And obviously that's a bit of a debate, but what it boils down to, in my opinion, is the focus. What's the focus on? And in my opinion, the focus here is all on the action platforminess. The combat, being very simple about it, and everything else about the game. The RPG elements are there, they're neat, they're cool, but they're secondary. Would I like to see another Zelda made in this style? Yeah. I've said that several times. As I talked about at the beginning of the stream, it's understandable why the stigma exists within the Nintendo studios for why they haven't done another side-scrolling Zelda. I just disagree with that stigma. It's kind of a silly reason to do it. I mean, the last Ocarina game we had wasn't that long ago, Yura. That would have been Skyward. Zelda Command Mission. Or put in other terms, the Ocarina-style Zelda was only 3 Zeldas ago. Don't mistake me, I do think they should try something else out after having poked at the breath concept for a while. Oh, I didn't know Link Between Worlds actually came out after Skyward. Or if I did, I'd since forgotten. I mean, nobody likes top-down Zeldas. For more information on this, see how well all the top-down Zeldas are going to review. I'll even Zelda 1 scored better than I thought it would be. Then again, I just thought of another one, although Blue FLX is probably not there anymore, but if you ever watch this on the VOD, or for anybody else curious, another game that scored better than I thought it would be, Dragon Quest 1. Which makes me wonder, I wonder if the, come on, there we go. I wonder if the Final Fantasy 1 review is going to review as badly as I expect it to. So I don't expect that to review particularly well, because I don't think it's a particularly good game. But it's been an extraordinarily long time since I've played all the way through the NES version. So who knows? I think the modern versions will review just fine. But, like, the NES original? Well, it's funny you say that. So, very recently, just a few weeks ago, I was doing a history of video games thing for a friend of mine. And one of the things we covered, so I got this friend of mine hooked up with all the extremely legal ways to play these old games. And, was having them go through them themselves, just so they could experience it themselves, right? So they can experience what gaming was like back in the day and how those games play now. Cool. Dragon Quest I was a game that they gelled to pretty well. And the way that they mentioned, talking about it, was that the loop was fairly well defined and fairly rewarding. It also didn't last super long. There was a lot of grind involved in that loop, but for the most part, it was like, alright, you go grind, and then you move on to the next town, and then you go grind, and then you hit the next, dungeon, and then you go grind to the next town, and so forth and so on, right? The loop was pretty strongly defined, so there's a very solid progression core. And they were getting into it. Then I had them try Final Fantasy 1. Not the same thing. FF1 was a lot rougher. It was rougher in terms of guidance, it was rougher in terms of penalty for failure, it was rougher in terms of progression. FF1 was definitely more ambitious. DQ1 is a very, very basic game. But at the same time, DQ1 failed a lot less. And I don't know, that was admittedly a bit of an eye-opener to me, and that's speaking as someone who liked FF1 so little that I didn't actually play another one until FF4 came out. So it's my favorite FF. That's a very good question. Oh, and to answer your earlier question, no, I have not watched the show. I generally don't have time to do stuff off camera, unless it's part of my co-op stuff. Or taking care of my nieces. Have I played FF16 yet? I don't have a PS5. And no plans to pick one up at this point. I just have no reason to, at this point. But either way, FF16 is something I'll probably play at some point. Words. So, but yeah, I have not watched the Fallout show. But what's my favorite Final Fantasy? So here's the thing. The answer to that is probably 6. I know, boring answer, blah, blah, blah. But FF6, I could talk about the significance of it, I could talk about the personal relevance, but none of that really makes that game better. What makes FF6 so good, in my opinion, and I mean this with sincerity, is it's a good game, in addition to being a good story. It's not a perfect game, it still has flaws, and I think there are other FFs which nevertheless have a better gameplay axis. But FF6 has really solid gameplay. It was the very first RPG in which I discovered I could enjoy playing an RPG. And I know that sounds kind of weird, but I'm sure some of you understand that sentiment. Yeah, no, that game pushed the SNES to its absolute limit. It's funny, because there's actually other games that arguably did so more so. So it's probably 6. But I haven't reviewed 6, so who knows. I actually haven't reviewed any Final Fantasy other than 14 and Mystic Quest as of the moment. Probably what to call. And that will absolutely boost its score. I think 6 will outscore Chrono Trigger, personally. And I actually have demonstrable reason for doing that, other than preference or bias or anything else. And the reason why is because StarCraft 2. I sure hope not. It happens all the time, Mira. StarCraft 2 is the best scoring game I've ever covered at the moment. It also is also a game with buckets of negatives, dozens of negatives. But because it did so much so well, those negatives were buried. And that is why I think FF6 will succeed over Chrono Trigger. It's because Chrono Trigger will have less negatives. I almost guarantee it. But I think FF6 will bury it in positives. I don't think it'll outscore it by that much. Personally. Let's see. Story negatives to FF6. The time skip is one of mine. And even the time skip only bothers me because of the Figaro section. So the Figaro section might be a better way to explain that. So the Figaro section... Yeah, even understanding what they were going for in the Figaro section, they do not convey that well. Although, who knows, maybe the Pixel Remaster fixes their translation in there a little bit. You know what? I do agree with the party dialogue thing, although I feel like I put that under gameplay. But I do agree with that negative. You know, it's weird, isn't it, Talia? The encounter rate is absolutely something that will be a negative. We've actually even established precedents with FF6 in mind about how to grade that kind of an encounter rate. And it will get a negative. Oh, hello. That's true for us. So, in certain parts of the game, you can bring pretty much whoever you want to the party, Chill Pangolin. The thing is, who you bring does not matter. Pretty much everybody you bring has just generic dialogue with extremely few exceptions. As a result of that, it doesn't matter who you bring, and the party... It just feels kind of awkward and weird, and it's even awkwarder and weirder under really unique circumstances. Like, you can have Mog saying dialogue that clearly isn't the kind of dialogue Mog would say. If you really stagger it, you could have, like, Gogo and Umaro, you know, talking like anybody else, because they're the only person in the party that you brought for the cutscene. Stuff like that. It's a weird... on top of an otherwise very polished game. A trend that would continue until, honestly, I guess it would never actually not continue. Because FF7 has the exact same problem in a slightly different direction. In FF7, they do have party-unique dialogue, but in many cases, it's some of the worst translated dialogue in the game, and has no real bearing on what's actually being said, and it's almost always one sentence. Like... You'll talk to someone for a quest, and they'll be like, hey, here's what's going on. And it'll cut to this person, and they'll say, oh my gosh. And it'll cut to this person and say, I like bananas. And then it'll go back to it, right? No real logic there. And then, of course, in FF8, they didn't have that because FF8 has the static party concept. FF9 only has it for like a couple of specific sections. And FF10, the entire party is always there for every cutscene, as it should have been from the beginning. Thank you, FF10, for establishing that precedent. Now, what am I doing? I think I'm killing the bosses. We did Ocean Palace. Oh, yeah, right. Do I prefer Terranigma's combat to FF6? No. No. So I'm just double checking something here really quick. Did we kill... How many things do we have right now? God, I can't remember which bosses we've killed right now. Do I remember Legend of Mana fondly? I never really played it. Okay, yeah, we haven't done that. Okay, cool. So you're on, J. Palmer. Is there a genre I've ever completely bounced off of? Yeah, dating sims. But that's actually kind of it. Believes it or not. See, that's true, Ross, but that's not a dating sim. I'm sorry. That's a parody. I'll be right back. Do I prefer C-turn or turn-based combat RPGs to FF6? No. I like them. Quite a bit, actually. But no. I like both. Point in case, my favorite combat in the Final Fantasy series is... my favorite combat system, excuse me, in the Final Fantasy series is either FF10 or, conversely, FF10-2. And I stand by that statement firmly. I have 3 left, right? Yeah, I do. Exactly, Ross. Probably not, Yura. I didn't like tuna before the surgery, which made it so I can't enjoy seafood. That's what I'm thinking. I wish I'd grind it off camera. Because what I really want to do right now is get my magic and life to 9. That's pretty much what I'd be doing if I was doing a normal playthrough of this right now. That's going to take a minute. Favorite fruit? Probably watermelon if I had to pick one. How far into the game am I? I have 4 dungeons left, counting the final dungeon. I'm also quite fond of pineapple. grapefruit, I think, will be my third pick. Uh-oh, Euro doesn't eat fruit. No wonder you're so riddled with scurvy. My goodness. Green grapes, 100% of the time. I don't like red grapes. I mean, the ATE system is a great system that I kind of wish they'd do more with in the future. They used it so well in 9. Ketchup does not go on scrambled eggs. But you know it does. Everything else. Yes, especially avocados. Actually, Tabasco is a really common one. Mayo! Oh! Oh, God. No mayo. Please. Please no mayo. Please. Oh, I can't take it. I can't take mayo right now. I admit I'm not a big ketchup fan in general. There's very few things, though, I actually really like ketchup on, and most of them are meat-related. I know what you're talking about, Wolf Alex, and what's really strange is several of the previous FFs, going as far back as 8, actually, and 6, actually, now that I think about it, kind of smooth over that delay in between action versus command delay, whatever you want to call that. The jankiness that you're talking about. Listen, I don't hate the 2 games, Cool Noodles. Or do I? Excuse me, do I have a key? I do not. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. I thought I was ready to go for the boss in this dungeon. I do hate second quest in Zelda 1. I'm not gonna bat around the bush on that one. Screw second quest and everything about it. Yeah, we needed more of those scenes, Jesse's Mask in 6. 6 would probably be the easiest game to remake. All you'd have to do is add more to what's already there. It's content, Yura. That's how that works. I swear I've already gotten this key. No. Can you say it without spoiling, Ross? Yeah, I might have to at this point, Cool Noodles, because, yeah. I have an itch. Yeah, exactly, Jesse's Mask. I do find it interesting that several of the interviews from the developers of FF7 have all said pretty much the same thing. We'd love to do a remake of FF6, but we're not sure we can. No, that works perfectly well, Ross. I know exactly what you're referencing. Okay, yeah, no. I think we actually have to use the fairy spell. Now, fortunately, we can. Hang on a second. Yeah, trust me. When sitting down, and thinking about the rewrite, obviously I have to cast all of those characters in FF6. FF6 is a thing, because that's a big freaking cast. do that. For those who are not aware, that's the other use of the fairy spell. Some would argue the primary use of the fairy spell. Okay. Could be worse. Could have been a blue guy. Six does have, in my opinion, honestly, one of the best final dungeons in gaming. Not just for RPGs, in general. I mean that. Kefka's Tower is a masterclass in game design. Now you get to die. Maybe I'm just biased. I've been chewing on your question, Saberforward. I'm not ignoring you, I swear. I don't really feel like the encounter rate in this game is too high. And I think at least part of why is because the game gives you so many tools to just completely bypass them. Having said that, it is pretty high. It's every few seconds you get an encounter. Black Omen is great, but it's no Kefka's Tower. Different types of puzzles, interlocking routes, very good itemization. Like, excellent itemization. The music, the visuals, the visual storytelling. Lots of bosses, many of which are optional. All optional bosses give something rewarding for beating them. Good variety of bosses. Good variety of enemy design. What's my experience with the Thief games? Well, they exist. I think. Don't quote me on that. Oh, you son of a... That's a death, by the way. That's just a death. Unlike in other Zelda games where falling into a pit, like, respawns you. Even in Breath of the Wild, it respawns you with a health loss. You just lose a life for falling into a... pit. I can't do that, can I? Oh yeah, by the way, Ninja Gaiden respawns. Gotta get those in. Wouldn't be a NES game without Ninja Gaiden respawns. Okay, the good news is, if we die now, it's not the end of the world. Just get back here. Bad news is, I'd rather not do that. I'd like to not die. Is that something we can make happen? Yeah, let's... I meant to write that down earlier and actually spaced. Let's write down... Ninja Gaiden respawns. Yep, sorry, we gotta start over. Hi, Savicom. Welcome home. I mean, honestly, instant death pits aren't themselves necessarily negative. But that placement, you know... I mean, the Ninja Gaiden problem is a Ninja Gaiden problem because the enemies are designed to knock you into the pits. That's the problem, really. Also, in a game like this, where falling for a death is hugely punishing, It's even worse than normal. Did I already write that down? I did not. Yeah, Mega Man has instant death pits all over the place, but it's being used differently there. Most of the purpose of that is to inform where you should be navigating and how to get through a particular stage, and to reward you for doing it precisely. Here, oh no, that enemy that just spawned off screen that you didn't see until they were there, yeah, they killed you and there's nothing you can do about it. So now I have an interesting choice to make. No, yeah, you're absolutely right, Blow Alex. Yeah, gotcha. That's why I call it that. Yeah, that's a good point. Who's Instant Death Guy? What should we call him? No. Bob is the Spike Guy. Bill! What was Sideshow Bob's brother's name from Simpsons? Cecil. Let's call him Cecil. Oh, that's awful. Maybe we shouldn't do that. Actually, it's funny you bring that up, Blue Felix. I was doing some digging through the art book I have. Did you know that the red pits in Zelda 1 and 2 are pits of blood? I've been assuming for like 30 years that that's just lava. You know, like any other game. No, it's blood. Yeah, fresh reminder, Ganon was pretty much literally Satan in the original for a few things. It wasn't until LTTP, when they really sat down and hammered out a story, that he turned into a character who was, you know, the devil. Hell, if you've ever seen the manga for this game, Ganon actually wanted to resurrect himself so he could specifically eat Zelda. Yes, eat her, as in eat her flesh, use that to restore himself, and then drag all of Hyrule down into hell and torture them and gain power from their suffering. It's described a lot more horrifically than I am saying, but you know, that's the general idea. Yeah, and then LTTP came along, and I can't remember his name. The guy, the story guy behind Zelda, designed this whole thing, this whole backstory and story arc, and a lot of all that early nonsense went away until Skyward, arguably. Was it Koizumi? Hang on, I have my notes right here. I can just look. Miyamoto and Tezuka. I didn't write down his first name, but it's Tezuka, whoever that is. Yeah, no kidding, Blue Alex. Wait, I think... Isn't Koizumi the guy who did the Skyward thing? Or am I crossing my wires here? Oh, Koizumi did the LTTP manual. I'll have to double check my notes then. which I'm not going to do right now because I'm already standing around doing nothing. See, okay, let me explain what I'm debating. So right now, if I were to beat this boss and then the next boss and then the next boss, I would have probably Magic 8, Life 9, and probably Magic 9. And that's probably how I would line up in terms of my setup. But you notice my sword would still be 6. Now I can live with that. And I'm debating if I should live with that, because the alternative is to go grind right now. And then, you know, that way it'll lower the overall time spent grinding in order to get 999. Thing is, if we're going to grind ever, we have to grind right now. If we don't grind right now, then the grind will actually be longer later, because of the nature of how the palaces work. We can always cheat. Screw it. I don't care. I don't care. We can cheat. It's Zelda 2. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Alright, so this is the hardest boss in the game. Okay, he's dead. That boss is probably the worst boss in the game, legitimately. Because the thing is, he is weak to one thing. And only one thing. And he is turbo weak to that. Okay, so that's the maze dungeon. Let's go finish up the ocean dungeon. What's our lives right now? Yeah, that's what I thought. 0. Yep, we just killed the Ku Klux Klan head dude of evil. I don't know what he's called. Head evil do. He's going home to get a hot shower. Hot shower. Hot shower. Please, someone get that reference. It's a dumb reference, but that's all I know. Yeah, we cannot cuddle the Zora, Savka. Yes, it's a South Park reference. I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, exactly, Cool Noodles. So, to explain a little bit, the reason I want 999 is because I want lives. But I don't think I'm going to manage that anyways, so I'm just going to go ahead and move on. I have not, Yura. I have the Blu-rays, but they are 2K or whatever that's properly called. Instead of Ultra Blu-ray or whatever the hell they're called. But yeah, sorry, I guess I don't think I ever explained that. Maybe I did. Once you've maxed everything out, all additional levels you get, which cost 9,000 experience, gain you lives. All important lives. And the strategy is to have as many lives as possible for the run-up to the Grand Palace. Once you get to the Grand Palace, you're safe. You've hit base. I'm just going to die here. So, yes. You've made it. You're at the Grand Palace. Cool. But the stretch to get to the Grand Palace is some of the meanest, most brutal stuff in the game, and involves a lot of falling into pits. Which, if you remember, is instant death. So, the goal for me, that me and my friend used to do, and there was a very specific leveling path we used to do, which would mean, god dang it, there we go, which means we would beat most of the palaces and then go grind for a bit. And when I say beat the palaces, I mean beat all the palaces except for the boss. Then get to the point where we're ready for the end game, grind, and what am I doing? And then go finish off the palaces and stock up and basically get the 9,000 experience to go ahead and get those extra lives in order to be able to tackle the end game. What changes would make me enjoy Monster Hunter? Adding and the removal thereof. Well, Well, gosh, I'm gonna say Waltz, Ross, because that's the... You wouldn't even be mentioning it if it wasn't that, so I'm gonna go with Waltz. Hey, Spartan. Hope the drive is going smooth. Wrong! Okay, congratulations, your dad has taste. I mean, everyone who likes Waltz, you're awesome. Don't kill me for not liking Waltz. Listen, Ross, you're allowed to kill me. That's the rule. You get one killing, okay? Just the one, so use it wisely. Jeez, Spartan. Isn't that always the way? It could be worse, though. You could be traveling by, like, train or rail or any other kind of public transport. Wouldn't that be sock? Be sock? What does sock mean? Wouldn't that suck? No, when I was a kid, we didn't have, like, milk service, really. I'm not that old. That predates me by a while. I'm not sure my mother had that. Hey, Mr. Red. That was the joke, Spartan. Sorry, the older I get, the more in favor of public transit I get. Although I guess age has nothing to do with it. The more I study civil engineering, the more in favor of public transit I get. Probably a better way to do that. Yeah, don't pee on the bus. Be kind, rewind. It's true, I'm going to watch Tangled before him. Yes, Hira. Generally peeing on buses is discouraged. Hold on. Sorry, I've already kind of beaten this dungeon. With one notable exception. Where am I going? Yeah, we already got the flute. Where are you, boss? There you are. Okay. Not so. Yeah, and as with most things, I unfortunately have to mention something I feel like I shouldn't have to say, but that's just the world we live in. I am more in favor of good public transit, not just any public transit. I've actually lived in cities that have public transit, and I've lived in cities which have good public transit. Big difference. Back off. Back off there, buddy. There we go. That's actually a really tough question, believe it or not, Cool Noodles. So this is a boss exclusive to this version of the game, by the way. Originally, it's just Horsehead again. He's a little buggy, as you can see. He's kind of a weird one, because he looks like he's weak in the head, but actually, no. His weakness is his gut, which he covers with the weapon. Oh my god. And we're dead. Dense residential is certainly beneficial from an engineering perspective, but at the same time, well, if I could quote myself here, we've kind of solved a lot of the hard parts of civilization already. I don't think the extra cost and resources necessary to maintain a little bit more quality of life is really that out of bounds for city design, in my opinion. Hi, Game Geek. Now, that's, of course, in a more idealized situation than we have right now, but I stand by it. Oh, that used to be my wall, by the way, back in the day. There's also the, what do I call it, the web work? So, like, you've got the web. Yeah, let's talk about that. So, you know, residential web, and then you go over here, and then there's a commercial web, and you go up here, and there's another residential web, and so forth and so on. And it makes transiting much easier, because you just, anywhere in this web has probably some kind of local public transit, usually something really simple, like a bus or whatever, and then something more long-term to get you to the next web, where you have something local, and you can just walk. You get it. Stuff like that. I don't know if that's actually in practice anywhere. I am speaking from a hypothetical perspective. But either way, believe it or not, we're almost done with the game. All we have to do now is get to the bullcrap part of the game. One of the two uses of the whistle right there. So, welcome to hell. Believe it or not, back in the day, this game was considered really advanced for how good its AI is. Partially because of that input reading thing I mentioned, but also because they could actually do things like calculate angles really well. So they could actually... so these shots can home in on you really, really well. A little bit too well, one might say. I've already shown off the other AI thing. Just another day in the hood. We're also at the part of the game where the hints become a lot more esoteric. As I'll show off in just a minute here, if I ever get through this section. But first, I'm going to grab something really quick. Just need to remember what tile it's on. We could actually do the last dungeon right now, but of course, we have no idea where the last dungeon is. I mean, how would we? There's the second to last dungeon right there. We just passed it. Once again, the 1, 2, 3 tiering system, just like Zelda 1 and Breath of the Wild. Final heart piece. So if we explore pretty much the last spot we have to explore, we find enemies that are pretty much immune to us. Unless we use the magic, of course. It's on the coast. I always remember it's on the coast, Savacon. I don't remember exact locations for a lot of stuff like this. Oh my god. Probably about 10 years ago, something like that, Yura. I actually remember my last playthrough because I played through with a friend of mine. It was fun. We had a walkthrough. And we used the trick, of course. Alright, so. Sorry, I need to explain something. If you talk to one of the NPCs, they say Kasuto is in the east. I'm trying to remember the exact thing they say, but that, like, they say it's in the forest to the east. Now, we just passed a large forest that is to the east of that NPC. Now, if you roam that forest, you will find, I'm just going to tell you this right now, nothing. I mean, you'll find a little side cave with a money bag, but that's it. So, you can then go through the cave we just went through and get to this forest, which is where Kasuto is. But how do you get it? To my knowledge, nothing in the game tells you can do this. Hang on. I also have to be in the right spot. There it is. But you actually have to break the tree where the town is with the hammer. We had to flee Kasuto. Oh, sorry, it's not as long ago as I thought, Ross. That's only 9 years ago. Kasuto is not a character in anything, weirdly enough. You deserve my help. Follow me. And then she kills us. There is a secret at edge of town. And I know about that secret because I had Nintendo Power back in the day. So that's our final magic upgrade. We now have max magic, max life, max defense, and max MP reduction. So yeah, the cheapest life is ever going to be is 50. Jumps down to 8 now, so that's nice. Shield's only 16, so is fire and reflect. Fairy is still 40, though. Nice place. Stop by for a while. Oh, okay, sure. Revived. Thanks. Thank you, healing lady. I am error. Huh, there's nothing here. Except for this weird spot. So we go down the chimney. That's the second time we've gone down a chimney in this game. And we get the spell... Spell. Now, I don't think we need spell, but spell does help. Oh, no, we do need spell, don't we? I don't know. It's not super helpful, except when it's extremely required. Which describes a lot of things in this game, actually. Huh. Wonder what this is. Oh, is this not? Oh, shoot. I thought it was fairy up here. Okay. In that case, we'll cast a spell. There it is. There's the infinite key. So yeah, we don't need to worry about keys ever again, which is very helpful. Because that way we don't have to waste mana on the fairy spell. The spell has prevented us from spelling our doom, from having to use spell instead of spell. Okay, why are we so slow? There we go. Just ignore him. Just ignore the man that's bouncing around. It's fine. It's fine. Now, we do want to do one last thing, and then we'll do the final dungeon. Well, the second to final dungeon. Yeah, there's just a barn. I think it's supposed to be a tunnel. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's a load screen. And so they wanted to have something there to notate that it's the end of the screen, but... I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to be. We might, Ross. This game, so to answer Mr. Red, this game did a lot right. But it also did more wrong than I remembered, if I'm being completely honest with you. Knowing what I'm doing and how I'm progressing through the game is really helping. And that probably helped me with Zelda 1, too. This game also is very unforgiving, is the word I was going to use. In other words, if you make a mistake, it is extremely punishing for that mistake. Please remember, if I game over, in other words, if I die one more time, which falling into that pit will do, then I have to go back to the beginning. So here's Kasuto. When you cast a spell, nothing happens? Okay, whatever. Big, empty, abandoned place. I don't remember the correct place to go into, but there is actually a specific spot we want to go into in here. Quite a bit, played to all. So there's Thunder, our final and most required spell in the game. Costs 64. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering what's hitting me, there's invisible enemies here. Because Ganon's minions were specifically looking for the Triforce of Courage in order to be able to try and use it. Failed miserably, of course, so they just kind of smashed the town of Kasuto here. Is it? Well, I have enough mana to cast it. Twice total. Oh yeah, Thunder is also a screen clear. But it costs, if you have everything maxed, half your mana. And that's if you have everything maxed. I don't think there's anything else here. I think you're right. I think we need the cross to progress, which we actually get in the next dungeon. Which we do want, I think, because I think there's other enemies that require the cross to be visible. So there's a very high chance we'll die here, and honestly, I'm kind of okay with that, in a weird sort of a way. So we'll just die. We'll go all the way back to the beginning. Because that's how this game works. We're not going to get our lives yet. Although we're very close to that point. You know, I don't actually know, Mr. Red. Because as I pointed out earlier, it's the same sound effect from Punch-Out! And probably a few other games as well. It could just be a sound effect, like Kefka's sound. You know, one way in which Zelda 1 is, I don't want to say superior, but it's nice to have over Zelda 2. Zelda 1 has potions you can buy. Zelda 2 does not. Now, Zelda 2 does have a heal spell, but still, there's no prep work, right? Once you've restarted, you're as good to go as you're getting. Yeah, I've played plenty of Zelda 2, but I cannot help but associate that laugh with Punch-Out! Yes, you can, Savagam, and of different types and qualities. All they need is a bottle. We'll talk about bottles when we get to LTTP, but bottles from LTTP and onwards actually form a major core element of your gear progression in a lot of Zelda games. I don't want to bash Skyward, or not Skyward, sorry, Breath yet again, but one of the things I think Breath of the Wild was missing was bottles. Ow. Oh, like, never, Ross. Although, ever since I started doing speedruns of Ocarina, I started using the teleport a lot more. Go figure. Yeah, Spartan. It's the first bottle you can get in the game. And the easiest bottle to get in the game by a wide margin. In a typical rando, I have hit that spot, like, immediately, because there's so many Ripus you can get in Kakariko. Well, that's an interesting question, Star Horse. Depends. Do you mean for, like, you know... Oh, God! Items? In which case, yeah. If you mean for equipment, not so much. Oops. Make sure to save up 500 rupees, too. Spartan, you're going to need them later. Okay, second to last dungeon. We'll see how we do here. Maybe we pull up a map, just in the interest of not taking too long. Dungeon 6, the Hidden Palace. I'm not even sure what that is, just Rob TV, so I'm going to go with no. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so I don't need keys anymore. Well, if you click that link right there, Czar, you'll see what the vote is. Ah, well, in that case, I am aware of it, just Rob TV, but no, I've never actually tried it. So we do want the cross, and the cross is up there. Okay. Straight shot. Straight shot from here. And you notice the enemies are officially at the screw you phase. Or at least that's what you'd think, unless you've seen the Grand Palace, in which case you know that, no, the enemies get much worse than this. There we go. And while we're here, back in there. There's not a lot. It's mostly going to be a difference in, to me, but the Switch version has less in terms of load times, and has worse graphic design. And the GBC version has no graphics issues, but worse load times. And that's kind of it. The difference is so minuscule that that's part of the reason why I haven't actually decided yet, is because they might as well be the same game. They are a barely different remaster. I can make that jump. Listen, Spartan, I know you like causing accidents, but maybe like tone it down a little bit, you know? Yeah, Switch does have a couple of quality of life features which will make it easier to play for me. It may or may not change the review that much. Not really, Get Judas. Ignoring the obvious incredible amount of stress and pain it was to do the Ruinations. I also did it. Like, I feel satisfied. I feel happy. Like, haven't you ever finished a really, 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 really long, like 10-year-long project and thought, yeah, I made it? That's how I feel about the Trek Ruminations. I did it. I covered Trek. Moving on. Alright, I'm ready, Ross. Is it give more negatives to Master Quest? In which case, I got your back. Well, I will admit the Trek lore run has been changing my opinion in a few directions. I say change, that's actually the wrong word for it. Making my opinion more dynamic might be a better way to put that. Thank you, Subcom. Oh, you son of a submariner. This is an interesting situation. So if this guy doesn't drop a magic thing... I'm sort of soft-locked. That's an interesting sentence, Cool Noodles. I mean, you don't have to give reasoning. It's your purview. Okay, so we're gonna die deliberately? How many lives do we have right now? Only the one. Alright, let's die. I don't have a choice. We're out of mana. We need mana to proceed. Cannot believe I fell into that stupid pit. What a freaking gotcha. I thought it was the next series of pillars. Can one of y'all drop like a potion, please? I'd really appreciate a potion right about now. Really. Please? Yeah, this isn't even the Grand Palace. This is just, screw you. And what's funny is I don't need... It's not like 100% required to get the thing I'm getting, but it's required. Well, if you type exclamation mark Voot, you will get a link. Game Geek. I even jumped. I even jumped right as I hit it. I mean, at this point, I might have to blow the mana on being a fairy. I just apparently cannot make this jump to save my life. The downside is I'm slowly burning my mana with each attempt. So I have to keep recasting jump. And I'm gonna have to heal at some point. I really disagree with that. The fact that that jump isn't happening, I really disagree with that. I've hit jump both of the last previous times. If there is pyro, I am unaware of it. I'm not saying there isn't, just I don't know about it. Oh, it's one way. Oh no. Yeah, no, we're actually soft locked. We are actually soft locked. Now, if you happen to have a second controller, there is something you can do. Nothing anywhere indicates this, so they don't, get credit for that, obviously. Why isn't that working? Is it in? Is it on? Can I? Oh my god. Can I not suicide when I'm a fairy? Or am I just doing it wrong? Why is up A not working? There we go. Okay, hang on. If I can quote a certain thing, you better believe that's a crucifixion. Oh, we're not cheating. He's got a trip ahead of us. There are several ways that could be fixed, too. That's the really frustrating part. Ugh. Okay. Let's get back out there. Yeah, we're apparently just playing Castlevania right now. Who knew? I can't believe that. I cannot believe that. The good news is because we can just kind of bypass all this stuff, for the most part. It's mostly a straight shot back. Except we have to go through this barrier of hell. They see me walking. They hating. Now, I could go to town to heal, but it is so far away from the dungeon, it's not even worth doing. So we're not even going to bother. Now, if we die here, which is actually extremely likely. Remember, instant death pits. Thanks for that, Cecil. Just think, the next game we're playing is Link's Awakening, which will have none of this crap. Like, I don't want to say Link's Awakening is a perfect game, but we'll officially be past the overwhelming majority of the frustration the moment we get past Zelda 2. The next big major frustration we'll hit will probably be Phantom Hourglass. Oh yeah, just in case. Just in case we have any issues. Not that there would be any soft-locky kind of issues in this game. I don't remember if I used a guide my first time playing Link's Awakening. It was the first game I bought on my Game Boy Color, though. For the same reason we played Super very far into the timeline era. If I have to explain more than that, I got nothing. Sorry, stretching my thumb. Hey, Kevin for 7. How's your day going? Because we just soft-locked. Okay, I think we guessed correctly. And used the jump spells. All of that for this to happen. Good news is, we do have a level 7 sword. Not that I need that. What we came here for is this. Yes, the Holy Cross. Any questions? We're Christian, what? It's okay. I mean, again, considering Ganon was originally just another name for, you know, Satan back in the day. You know, that would be really funny, Savako. We must defeat Ganon. Yes, could I have 3, please? No, I don't need them special wrapped. Just 3. Thank you. What are we at on lives? We have a couple of lives. Good. It is within the realm of possibility we will die on the way to the boss. By that I mean extremely likely. Well, this was pretty much right before that censorship thing really started to take hold. Oh my god, I have like just too little... Okay, there's that death. Had to get it in. Cool. I didn't have enough mana to heal. I don't think Japan's majority anything, but don't quote me on that. Just kill them while we're here. Okay, fine. I don't believe in your load screens. Your menu means nothing to me. You know, if you ever wonder why a lot of Japanese media leads into Christianity, it's because Christianity is actually so rare, or at least it was, I don't know if it still is, so rare over there that it had that, like, foreign cool factor, right? Which you should understand if you like anime. No, this is it. This is it. I want the second one. Yeah, exactly, it's exotic. Pretty sure I want the second one. There we go. Beautiful. Don't even need the fairy spell. Don't even need it. Could you not, please? Thanks. Just double checking the map, but no, this is... Okay, yeah, we actually... okay. I forgot, there's actually another section up ahead, which I remember from Nintendo Power. I even referenced it earlier. This is our last life. So if we die again to those guys knocking me into the pit, I have to start over again. See you around, a noble name. Have a good one. Hope you brought enough mana to do that, because otherwise sucks to be you. Stretching my thumb. Mini boss number 2. No, he's got the pointy hair. He's got the cap, Talia. He's a totally different Italian-American. Is there a refill here? I never remember which one of these things have refills and which ones don't. Okay, so who's ready for the bull crap? This is the thing I need Nintendo Power for. The only way to progress is to catch yourself falling through there by ferrying and then move across like here. Now, I am going to indulge in a save here because there's a bug that can happen here. So we'll see how this works out. Okay, I'm sorry, that doesn't count. Hang on. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Most difficult game amongst Zelda 2, Castlevania, or Mega Man. Zelda 2, 100%. Okay, so there's a bit of RNG. And yes, this is Volvagia from Ocarina, although they named him something differently there. Oh yeah, speaking of which, pop this. Okay. And now we get to do the whole dungeon all over again. How many negatives do you think this should get? And I don't mean like in a spiteful, vindictive kind of way. Analytically. Like, as weird as this probably sounds, this could be worse. I should know. There are worse games. Games do worse than this. All you have to do... I'll explain that one, Cool Noodles. All you gotta do is remember that some games would retain absolutely no progress when you game over like that. And what would happen is you'd start the game over from scratch. None of your progress saved, just start the game all over again. Like, if you've got a debate, Cool Noodles, if you've got a point to make, please do so. Don't let my grousing discontinue you, or can't talk, discourage you. I believe it is in the block, but you yourself can tell, Yura, if you check the blocks page. Every time I go to scratch something, there's an enemy there to kill me. I will admit, I think I also prefer this to the 3 Hearts of Zelda. Zelda 1. But I'm not 100% sure about that, and we're not actually at the hardest part for that run-back problem yet. Not yet. Or is she Savika? Do Romulans even exist? Well, I mean, obviously they do, but like... yeah. We may never know. Yeah, the shield spell is nice and all, but... It's, you know what's really strange? This game actually has really good mid-mission checkpoints. In fact, I've already given it a positive for it. The mid-mission checkpoints are per screen, so if I died here, I would reset at this screen. You've seen that a few times already. Yeah, I don't think I ever realized until the third to last time I played this, it was about 10 years ago, how much the shield spell is clearly something they've balanced the game around. Do you see how much health he just took out of me? Get out of my way. God damn it, that's where I need to go. I've already got the cross. I already hit the gift shop. Get out of my way. I am a little weirded out they didn't recycle just straight up armor upgrades. But then again, they do have the life up, so I don't know. I don't know, what does Zelda 2 and D&D 5th edition have in common? There is no password system. There's a save. But that's it. Reliance on the shield spell. You know, actually, yeah. You do lose all your current unspent experience, which is exactly as frustrating as it sounds in a game as focused on that as this is. So I'll just pop the fairy spell here that I have the mana for. That was actually deliberate. I needed my mana back. The only reason I'm even killing at this point is they might drop a potion. I could really use a potion right about now. I do like the idea of trading a life for mana. It's... What else are you gonna do, right? How many of you have ever tried to do that thing I just did? Forgot that you actually have to enter the menu to gain the ability to cast per screen, tried to hit select, plummeted to your death, and then had to start over. I'd say it would be a substantial improvement, Cycloud. Personally. I'm gonna stop trying to downstab him. I obviously am not succeeding at this task. I've never even heard of an anarcho-marxist. But either way, probably not, no. You can fall into the pit after you kill him, too. And by the way, I'm on my last life. Now we do the run. By memory, this is the hardest part of the entire game. Ah, the rush to the Grand Palace. We want as many lives as we can right now before we hit that nonsense. So, we got one there. One there. And one there. Oh. What we're going to do is we're going to die. We're going to game over. And then we're going to do a little bit of gathering. And we're going to beat the game. I agree with you, Blue of Alex. As I've said many times, I try very hard not to give negatives when I am this angry. Because obviously, I'm not 100% sure of the rightness of my mind. But that boss probably deserves a negative. I mean, sold casually. You know, what's funny is I've gotten that question like 3 or 4 times today. You know, whether or not... Ow. Don't know Anarchomaxes. Whether or not I would want a modern take on a 2D Zelda or a more RPG-y Zelda, and the answer is always going to be yes. I like the concepts in this game, really. I know. It's kind of hard to believe at the moment, but I stand by it. Oh, and to my knowledge, nothing indicates where these lives are. So, good luck finding them. Yep, they're called Link dolls, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good approach. I like that, Blowbells. I usually try to give it a minute for my brain to re-engage for pretty much the exact same reason you just listed. Oops. Actually, are there any good Link plushies out there? Where is it? There it is. Link doll number 2. There's only one more. As a fresh reminder, when you get these, they're gone. Which means, if we game over again, we don't get these back. So I might indulge in a save state after we get all of them. Yeah, I feel like I remember more too, but maybe I'm just misremembering. Maybe I'm just missing one. I am very stupid. Yeah, there's a lot of experimentation going on at this point in gaming. I mean, again, Metroid, we already covered that. It's kind of the consequence when you're defining something. Yeah, you know what? Sure. Whoops. I actually knew about that Anarcho-Marxist, but thank you. I wasn't really going to bring it up until future games when the lore started to actually matter. There it is. 3 lives. We now have 5 lives to play with. And we're going to need it for the run. Now, I might be hyping this up too much, but I actually distinctly remember spending entire playthroughs prepping for the run to the Grand Palace. We'll see how bad it is. I'll give you a hint. There's instant death pits. And enemies that would be invisible if you didn't get the cross, which is why I insisted on getting that, despite the irritations of that invisible pit. Actually, yeah, I agree with that, Blue Felix. The fact that they are flagged as quest items, which means they're permagon when they're gone, that is a very weird choice. It honestly makes me think it's not on purpose. No, Dark Day, it's so much worse than that. Actually, I guess that would be the worst thing, so never mind. It's so much less bad than that. Like, having to prep for going back into a dungeon after having died, that's whatever, right? That's just normal. And that's fine. Having to prep once and then you're screwed forever if you screw up, that's not a great feeling. Oh, and also if you're paying attention, there's not really any good healing on the other side of this, the bridge of the river. Once you cross that river, there is a healing spot, but it's way out of the way. In fact, speaking of which, we're actually going to pop a backup save here. I haven't used a save state yet, or rather haven't loaded a save state yet, but they're there. Just in case. Oh my god, this freaking section. So all this damage I'm taking is probably going to stick. So that's great. Freaking thumb. You know, I speedrun Super Metroid, and I don't have, and Mega Man, I don't have these kind of thumb issues while playing those games. I swear. Well, if you go hit the voot, you will know what you are voting on, Junk Garage. Okay. Wish me luck. That's just mean. Let's go and get a heal, first of all. Okay, that's one down. That's why we have the lives. There are actually ways to skip these little encounter screens. It's not that hard to do, but it does require a specific strategy. It ate my input. It ate my jump input. Probably because I was getting hit at the time. You know what? Actually, honestly. Go away. Let's let him get all of them. See why I call this the run, by the way? Not really, no, you're... By the way, these eye enemies are invisible if you don't have the cross. Just picture that for a second. Really picture that. Come on. Oh, you're being a dick. What? So, for those of you not aware, in this game, you have two jump heights. The only thing that determines that jump height is how long you've been running before you jump. Apparently, I had not been running long enough to make that jump just now. Oh well, just for the hell of it. We have no mana, 1 health, and no lives. And we have 1 last cave to get through. And that's death. So, cheat flag turned on. Fuck this fucking game! God damn this piece of shit, assholic fuckery of a game.